Have you ever felt like you just didn't have enough resources, maybe money, time, or connections in your network in order for you to start living the life that you envision? If you can relate, then stick around because I'm going to share with you 3 principles on how you can start journeying towards the life that you have always been dreaming of. What if I told you today that in order for you to reach your next level in life, you didn't necessarily need more time, more resources, more money, or more connections? Would you believe me? In fact, to tell you the honest truth, you already have all that you need in your current possession right now that is required to take you to the next level. But all you need to do is to learn how to steward it well. You see, in the Bible, there's a story of a widowed woman who had 2 sons. Now, at the time that the story was being recorded, her husband, who was the main provider of the household, had recently died. So she began to panic and wonder to herself, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? You see, her husband, whilst alive, had some debt. And now that he was dead, she had to find some way to pay off the remainder of the debt, or else her 2 sons will be taken into slavery. So this lady, she runs to the man of God, Elisha, asking him what to do. And Elisha's response always amazes me. He simply asks her, woman, what dost thou have in thine house? You see, he didn't ask her what she lacked. He didn't ask her to make a list of all the things she needed or wanted. Neither did he ask her, how much money do you want me to give you? He simply asked her, what do you have in your house? It was only after he asked that question that she eventually realized that the answer she was seeking for was already with her. In other words, her solution was already in her possession. All she needed to do was to recognize it and then make use of it. When the man of God asked her, what do you have in your house? The lady responded, I do not have much except for a simple jar of oil. My friends, allow me to ask you, where is your oil? What oil do you have in your house right now at this moment that you may be overlooking? I'm not referring to literal oil, but what is it that you already have in your possession that, like this woman, you may have very well been overlooking all of this time? You see, oftentimes it is so easy to believe that we lack stuff. It is easy to believe that we don't have enough. But the problem with that is when we start to focus on what we lack, it hinders us from taking a step forward. Simply stated another way, when we focus on the things we lack, it hinders us from maximizing the moment. That's why it is so important to choose carefully where we direct our focus to. It was once stated, whatever we focus on multiplies. And I have found that to be very true in my life. You see, if we focus on what we lack, then we can never reach the abundance which is available to us. On the contrary, if we look for all the things which we do have, regardless of our current circumstances, then it sets us up to reach the abundance that is already available to us. We already have everything that is needed to steward this current season of life well. I love what Russell Brunson once said. He said, happy people focus on what they already have, whilst unhappy people focus on what they are missing. With this in mind, if you're going to maximize this season, this moment, this year, this second, well, then here are 3 things you will have to do. Number 1, you must become aware of what it is you already have in your possession. My friend, allow me to ask you this. What do you have in your house? What do you have in your possession right now that you may be overlooking? I want you to take some time throughout this week and make a list of all the talents, the gifts, the abilities, the opportunities, the relationships, or the connections which you may already have in this season of your life. Then secondly, I need you to search for some empty jars. In other words, I want you to look for a need which others around you may have, and I want you to seek how you can best serve or add value to those individuals. You can do this through simply asking others what is the number one challenge which they may be experiencing in a given area of life, whether it's in their family relationships, in their health, their spiritual life, their finances, their mental wellness, etc. Another way that you can find your empty jars is to observe the people around you and look for trends that have been made evident. This is exactly what I did about 4 years ago that has led me to where I am today, thus allowing me to inspire thousands of persons around the world. You see, I noticed 4 years ago during the COVID-19 pandemic from my interactions with various individuals that a lot of persons at the time were in need of inspiration and hope to face life difficulties. And thus, I decided that it was prime time to start a ministry. That then led to me now speaking on stages to various audiences, writing books and blogs, to even producing content which inspires persons and aids them in their development. And it's time for you to find your empty jars. And then the third and final principle I'm going to share with you today is this: get into action and deliver the value which you said you are capable of delivering. So after you found your empty jars or a need which you believe you can meet, then I need you to leverage or look for ways that you can use those abilities or gifts which you identified in step 1 to serve others. Here in step 3, I need you to get into action and deliver great value to others who may have a need and can benefit from what you have to offer. In other words, serve others with excellence. Because when you do these 3 things, I can promise you that your life will go to a whole new level. So it's time for you to maximize this moment of your life.